Coming up, you're going to hear an interview with Georgia Tech verbal commit Chase Roberts out of Greater Atlanta Christian High School. You'll hear the first 4 minutes of Chase's interview. To hear the rest, go to gtsportstalk.com and click on podcasts. Hey, Chase, how you been?
Good. Thanks for having me.
You and I talked several months ago when you committed to Georgia Tech, and I talked to a lot of different people, do interviews and recruits, and the one thing that really stood out with you was that you, even at your size, which is, 6'3", about 270, right around there, you played tennis on your high school team.
Yes, sir, that's right. I've been playing tennis since my freshman year. Well, actually, I've been playing tennis since I was about 5, but I've been playing for my high school team since freshman year.
That has to really help your footwork and your agility, because I know I used to play tennis in high school, and that's just a sport that you really have to be able to be quick with your feet. That's got to really help you a lot with your offensive line play.
Yes, sir. It definitely has. I took it off for a year of high school just to focus on football and try to get quicker, and I found that it was actually, much better to stick with tennis because it was helping me so much with my footwork. Did you play singles or doubles when you played?
I actually played singles. I wasn't that quick a foot, but I had long arms, so it helped. How about yourself?
Yes, sir. That's the exact same thing with me. I just can reach out. I like to come up to the net, but I play singles. So same thing, long arms.
That's even more amazing because doubles you can kind of get away with not being as quick. You can play position and you have a partner to work with. But at your size, to play singles and to play well is pretty amazing in my opinion.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So tell us, how's things going with Greater Atlanta Christian and your football this year?
We're doing very well. We start out 7-1. This week we play Hateville Charter, I believe, at home for our 9th game, and that'll be our last regular season game. And then we go into our playoff system. So our 10th game will be a play-in game, and we'll play, I believe it's the loser of Westminster Lovett, to decide whether or not we get into the 5-round playoffs that we have here.
You were able to commit to Georgia Tech fairly early. You made that decision. I understand you had a real good comfort level down there. Your father, I believe, also went to Georgia Tech, and perhaps that helped a little bit as far as getting to know the school better. How beneficial was that to you to get that done before your senior season so you could focus on playing this year?
It actually has been amazing. I knew it was something that I wanted to do to go ahead and get it out of the way because I knew where I wanted to go and be able to totally dedicate the last year of my high school season to my teammates and my coaches. And I don't think I'd be able to do that if I was still in the recruiting process, still trying to figure out where I'd be next fall. But being able to commit early and knowing where I wanted to go with such a deep conviction really was a blessing for me.
Chase, it probably has to also be kind of good that you know you're going to go to Georgia Tech, so you can kind of follow them. They're your team now. You can go to games. I assume you've been down there and you've been in contact. How many times have you been able to get down there, and what have you seen when you've been down there as far as watching games and how the program operates in season?
Well, I've been to every home game except Kansas. I only live about 40 minutes down the road from Georgia Tech, so I've been fortunate enough to get every home game. And the one that really sticks out to me was the North Carolina game, where I think Tech was ranked 25 in some polls, and North Carolina was ranked 26, and it was just a big, I want to say it was the ACC opener, and it was just a big kind of...
a lot of hoopla?
Exactly. There was a lot going on, and everybody was talking about it, and they came out and they won a very, very, very good game, and you could just feel it. You knew at that point that you weren't watching a football game anymore. You were watching your future teammates go out and play a game, and you really connected with it. Every down was something that affected you. You weren't going, I guess a better way to put it is you're not getting up in between series to go get popcorn.
Thank you for listening to this interview with Chase Roberts on our YouTube GT Sports Talk Network. To hear the remaining 7 minutes of Chase's interview, go to gtsportstalk.com and click on podcasts. In the remaining 7 minutes, Chase talks more about head coach Paul Johnson, the coaching staff, his relationship with some of the incoming players, and just how excited he is to be a part of the Georgia Tech program. That's gtsportstalk.com. Click on podcasts.